Everyone. Welcome to our Canton Fair booth. And I'm Stephanie. And today I'm going to introduce you about our company, Ink Tank, and our main products, the ink cartridges. So firstly, I'm going to walk you through about the history about our company as well as our business, our main products, our quality control, as well as our warehouse. So we are a professional manufacturer of various printing consumables, including the inkjet cartridges, the toner cartridges, the color ribbons, the toner powder, the ink, as well as the CISS. So we were established in year 1995, and back then we have only 50 employees. So to now we already have 25 years of overseas experience. And nowadays our products, our ink cartridges, they are sold to over 40 countries, including the Europe, Japan, America, Africa, and Asia, and it accounts for about 25% of our total compatible markets. So in order to suit the different demands from these global customers, we source about 3,000 printers from around the world, because we know that there are different brands of printers, and each printer, they have different versions in different countries. So in order to develop the specific cartridge that suits the specific printer, for example, in a certain country, for the same brand, and it's different from the brand that we could source in China, we buy the printers from that country. So now totally we have about 3,000 printers in our R&D lab. That's a lot. So from these printers, we developed our chip as well as our ink cartridges, and all of them have to pass 100% test before they are launched and before they went through the delivery. So this is something that we emphasize on, because we pursue excellence and we want to deliver the perfect sample as well as the product to our customer. And according to our deficit rate, we are the lowest in this industry. We are 1%, and according to last year's statistic, we are even lowest. We are deficit rate is 3 in 1,000 pieces. So this is why we emphasize too much on the quality. And as I mentioned before, our company was established in 1995. And in year 2011, we started to do automatic mass production. And back then we have about 1,000 employees. But now in year 2020, we have 30 automatic production lines. So that's a lot, and that was a huge growth since then. And for these 30 automatic production lines, every month we could achieve the capacity of 8.5 billion pieces. So for that, you could see that we could both meet the demands from small orders, but also could handle the mass production for customers who have special needs. And it is also worth mentioning that our delivery day is normally 3 to 7 days for small orders, but for large quantities we usually take within 15 days. And for sometimes our customers, they will have a little bit change when they post the order, and it is also possible for us to do the change in terms of the design or the packaging, but the delivery day will be changed by then, and we will reschedule with our customer to see what we can do before production. So this is the number that we could make for a month capacity. And after production, beside of our own production lines, we also have our own warehouse. We have about 30,000 square meters of warehouse. So this is where we stock the components, we stock the ink cartridges and all those ink powder and toner powders before delivery. And you could see that this is the reason why we have such large business, because we have customers around the world, and such we have a very large coverage of warehouse. And that's pretty much of the company's introduction. And it is also worth mentioning that because for each cartridge it has a chip on it, so we have a very professional R&D team, and it helps us to track and to know about the upgradation of the printers. So every time we have an upgradation of the printer, our company will start to do the upgradation of the cartridge. So currently for the upgradation of the chip, we have 3 different solutions. The first one is our customers, if they are in small quantity, they could choose to send the chip, send the cartridge back to us, and we do the upgradation for them, and then we resend the upgraded cartridge to them. And the second one is we could send a downgrade firmware package to the customer and to guide them to do the upgradation remotely. And the third solution is that we could send a Unismart upgrade device to the customer, and then they could use the device to do the upgradation themselves. So this is the reason, also the reason why we are the leader in this industry, because we focus on the quality as well as the upgradation, because we have a very strong and professional R&D team. Okay, I think that's pretty much of the introduction of the company, and then I will give you a short description of our products, the cartridge. So I think I will show you 3 products today. And firstly, this is the ink cartridge called the C518. You could see it here, and this is the ink cartridge, and there are 5 colors here. Well, actually, yeah, there are 5 colors, but there are 6 in a set, and this is another black in a larger size, so I didn't put it here. We have 5 different colors for this series, and I think that we could change to another camera, so I could give you a detailed introduction of this structure. So as you can see, maybe I'll change another color. It's a black. There's 5 colors are black, photo blue, cyan, magenta, and yellow. So there are 5 colors and they are in a set. However, if you are our customer and you want maybe only 2 colors or 3 of them, we could also use it as a set. Okay, so maybe I'll use the yellow one as the demo. So as you can see, this is the ink cartridge that we produce. And from here, this is the middle tag. From the middle tag, we could see it is C581, and this is the specific model number of this cartridge, and it shows that which printer it could be used on. For example, this C, it means that this cartridge is used for the printer of Canon. And then XXL and yellow, it shows that this is the color of yellow. So this is the middle tag of the cartridge, and every cartridge will have a unique middle tag for them, so in order to avoid confusions. Then let's rotate it. You can see that there is something here, and this is a handlebar. So the handlebar is used for fixation of the cartridge. So every time we want to install the cartridge to the printer, we have to press the handlebar first, and then install it, and then release the handlebar so that this cartridge could be fixed. Yeah. this is the handlebar. Then we continue to rotate. You could see that there is the chip. So this chip is the most important component on this cartridge because it is something that the printer used to recognize the cartridge. And every chip is unique because it has to be recognized by the printer to see which color it is and if it is acceptable. So this is a chip and is totally designed by our R&D team. And moving forward, we could see that there is an orange cap here. There's a cap. So whenever I want to install this cartridge to the printer, I could take off the orange cap, and then it will show two different inkjetter here. So if I take off the orange cap, the inkjetter could be connected to the print head in the printer. So the cartridge will be connected to the printer. So this is something that this orange cap is something that I should take off before the installation. Okay, so the chip and the orange cap, and beneath it is the inkjetter. Then moving forward, okay, we could also see that if I move here, we could see that the ink is moving inside. There's a yellow ink, and beside it, it's a sponge. So the sponge is used to absorb the ink and to release it evenly in the printer. So if we don't have the sponge, then the picture that we print will be printed unevenly. Maybe lots of ink or too less on the paper. So this is the ink and the sponge. And on the other side, we have the label. So this label is a caution. It says that after installation, if the cartridge shows not recognized, please remove and reinstall, and it will take up to 5 attempts. So this is the structure of a classic cartridge, and this cartridge is a best seller of the cartridge in Europe. So I believe that those who are interested in printing consumables, you will feel that this is a very good design. And as I mentioned before, we have 5 different colors and they go in the set. And similarly, we also have another set that has a very similar experience, very similar, as you can see from the back. And so is the front. This one is very similar, but we could see from the middle label that it is C281. So the C281 is used for North American market. Although their appearance are familiar or totally the same, but their chip design is the sole difference. And because of the chip design, they are used for different printer or different version of the same brand. Okay, and I'm also gonna introduce you another series, and this one you could see from the middle tag that it is called the E603XL. So this is also another very famous popular products that we sold to Europe. We have 4 colors in the set: the yellow, the magenta, the cyan, as well as the black one. So I'm gonna use one, also yellow, maybe to give you an introduction on its structure. So you could see, yeah, this is a middle tag, and it's also a unique one. From that we could see that this is what kind of cartridge and what printer, as well as what brand of the printer, which version it is applied to, and then the color of it is yellow. So moving this way, we could see that there is a chip here. So for the chip, you could see that this chip is designed totally different from what I showed you just now. These two are very different. So this one is in the shape of an M, so we call that the M version chip. So for this kind of chip, it is totally uniquely designed by our R&D team, and this could be recognized by the printer and could also realize the upgradation of the cartridge according to the upgradation of the printer. And for this kind of chip, it is also the patent protected, so our customers could sell it on Amazon and other platforms without considering of any risks of IP violation. And then we could see here. So this is the inkjetter. The inkjetter is also different from what I introduced you before. It doesn't have an orange cap on above it, so it is like this, and it has a very thin membrane on it. If I'm gonna use it, then I should first tear off the membrane and then to install it in the printer. Okay, so this is the inkjetter. Then we keep moving, and then we are here, the very important part, which is the tail leg. The tail leg is something that the very important part, and it's also the very first part you should do when you're gonna install this to the printer. You should first tear this off and then to install it, because if you take this off, then you will allow the air to go into the concave of this cartridge. We could also see maybe a little bit from it that there are ink in this part. It's hard to see, right? It's ink in this part and the sponge on the other part, this part. So before installation, if we take off this tail leg, then the air will go into the sponge and it will help to absorb the ink from this part, and then it could release the ink to the printer evenly. Yeah, so this is how it looks like, and there are another 3 of them, and they go in a set. So this is the series E603. This is also a very popular product in Europe. Oh, by the way, if you like our products, or if you're interested in our company, you are welcome to leave your questions or follow us on Facebook and YouTube. I think that you'll find more interesting information on our webpage. Okay, and then we will have a third demo, which is the maintenance box, maintenance ink box. So as the same, we could see that this is a middle tag, and this is EC9344. And this maintenance box is used to collect the wasted ink in the printer, or to collect the ink that is used when the print head is washed. So it is used to recollect the ink in order to protect the printer without the damage of the ink. And we could see that here, this is where the ink is recollected. It's cotton inside, and it will collect the ink inside. It will absorb the ink. This is how the ink is collected. And similarly, it also has a chip that is used to be recognized by the printer. So when we install it in the printer, the chip will be recognized. Okay, so this is a very simple design, but it is also a very necessary part for the printer, and it is also patent protected, and you are free to sell it on different platforms, including Amazon. Okay, so this is pretty much the demonstration of these three kinds of series of products. Just now we introduced you a little bit of our ink cartridge, the C581, and then the E603. These are all popular products that are sold in Europe, and then they maintain this ink box that I showed you just now. So you may wonder how these inks were like when they were printed on the paper. So for the next part, I think I will ask my colleague to help me to do a little bit printing using the C series. Yeah, we're gonna use the Canon printer to test how these cartridges are showed. I think we're gonna choose a very bright picture to see how they work. I think we're gonna wait maybe a minute. Okay, I think well, we could see the picture is printing out, and it is very bright colors. This is this one used our C series cartridges for the Canon printer. Thank you. Wow, we could see that this is a very bright color that we print. You see it? Yeah. This is, just now we used the cartridges as I showed you for the C581. And this is how it goes. We could see that the colors are very bright, and the textures, they are very detailed and very clear. And if you could see it closely, I don't know if you could see it from the video, and if you could see it closely, it's actually 100% like what you see from the computer. So a very accurate and very bright photo that it could be printed out. Okay, so thank you for your attention. And I want to mention again that if you are interested in our company, please follow us using the name ThinkTank on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you have any questions, you're also welcome to leave your questions. We'll have colleagues, and I will try as much as possible to answer your questions. And that's pretty much for the live streaming. I think that I will see you in an hour and to show you more products if you are interested. Okay, thank you for your attention. Bye.
A new compatible